Good evening, Agile acquisition enthusiasts, and welcome back to the Underground Digital Tiki Bar. It's Friday night. It's been another great week working in the wonderful world of federal procurement, and that means it's time for another episode of Agile Acquisitions and Alcohol. So cheers. On tonight's episode, I want to talk about innovation, because when we talk about Agile acquisition, that's what we're talking about is innovation. To me, innovation comes down to three key ingredients. The first and most important ingredient is looking at every single situation and knowing that it's wrong, or at least that it could be done better. And that includes what I'm doing right here, what I'm doing every day when I'm working, making contracts, making the procurement world what I think is a better place. I still have to look at it and think, what I'm doing, I could be doing better. And that's what you need to be doing in every aspect of your work, whether you're on the acquisition side or the delivery side. The second part is research. It's great to think things are done wrong, but if you think they're done wrong, you gotta do your research and understand where the guidelines are, what are you allowed to do, what are you doing just because that's the way it's always been done, and what could you do if you wanted to. Just like the old adage, if the FAR doesn't say you can't, then you can. You got to take that perspective with everything that you do. So you've got to become an expert, a professional in your particular aspect of the process and really understand where your boundaries are. And the third very important part of the process of innovation is responsible risk-taking. How do you do responsible risk-taking? Well, it comes from the research, right? You have to understand where those guardrails are, where the cliff is, what are the things you absolutely don't want to do, and then take risks. Now, I don't mean take risks like really put major concerns in danger. What you got to do is start small, experiment, find out what works, fail fast if you need to fail, and then find out what went wrong and build from that. It's like learning to ride a bike, right? I mean, you know you're going to fall and you're going to get hurt, and that's okay. That's part of the process of learning to ride a bike. That doesn't mean you're going to buy a $5,000 bike and run it down a black diamond mountain and try to learn how to ride a bike. That's not responsible. I mean, like when I learned how to ride a bike, it was down the major hill in my neighborhood on a bike with no brakes, but I was the third child. I was expendable. That's okay. You want to take responsible risks. You want to look at your process. Don't pick the most important flagship program in an agency and try new processes and try new ways of delivering technology. If you can, I mean, don't get me wrong, when something is urgent and important, you can get a lot of buy-in for doing important and doing creative things, but that's not where you want to do it. You want to do it on these low-profile projects where you can demonstrate success and build off of that. Because ultimately, innovation is only as valuable as getting people to buy into that innovation and using it in more important and bigger aspects of the business. So that's it. That's innovation. Apply those three rules. Do it in everything. I do it in my everyday life. I do it right here when I'm making these videos in my basement in the luxurious underground digital tiki bar, and I hope you give this a try. If you're liking these videos, give me a thumbs up. If you have suggestions for future videos, please put them in the comments or message them to me directly. I would love to hear what you want to talk about. And please subscribe so I know that there's people out there that want to hear more of this stuff, because if you keep watching, I'll keep making those videos. And until next week, cheers.